Right, so question 2 will be the first one that I'll do, and that's where we're talking about the email sent to George from what appeared to be the security mail for the company. So doing this, I've used Autopsy, and what you do is you load both the PCAP files into Autopsy and then run ingest scans on them. And then through these ingest scans, we get the email results, and you can see the list over here on the left. And we've got the emails, and we come down, we find what looks like a security@mail.pits.work, which is the email structure used for the organization. And we'll go through that and check the results. And we come over here into the text, and if we scroll down just a little bit, we can see the content. Apart from just the message, is we've got a base64 here. So you would take that, copy and paste it. I've already done it just over here. And you would put it in the decode from base64 format, decode, and we get a message saying, "Hi Geo," which I'm guessing is short for George. We're doing a system security testing scan, so we need you to run a pen testing script for UND the result back to us. Please download from the link and run the script in the terminal. It'll take a while to run, so we recommend you run it during lunch break. Thank you, regards. Now this is addressed from Marcus. Whether or not it's from Marcus is the big question, obviously. And then they've got the link there, which is potentially our point of entry. And as this whole thing's likely a phishing email. So that is my answer for question 2. Right. So question 8. Question 8 is effectively where we're talking about the email that George has sent outside of work. So what originally I would have done, I won't do it now because it takes forever for my bloody Wireshark to go for. I'll bring up the basic email list. I'll scroll down and find the George email from George, and then what we would do is we would click onto that email and follow TCP stream, and then it would bring us up the email. And in this email we can see that George is talking to a Leo DeCap at mailinator.com. That threw me off at first because of the similarities to a well-known actor, and I thought it might have been a spoof name. But no, it's not a fake name, I don't think. I think it's actually a person, because when we look at the contents of the email, we see that he's talking about getting advice from someone, especially around employee handling, and he's producing some documents to cover his bases on that. Later on, we'll see that I highly suspect that Allison is the employee behind the attack. Whether or not that's correct, though, I'm not sure. It's just my suspicions point me there. And this is what he is talking about on day 1. And it's that's the email there and question 8. Right. Sorry, this is just a tag on to question 8. This was the second message, which was talking about the position being clear in a couple of weeks. This is still to Leo DiCaprio, whatever you want to call it. And give me a little time after that to convince management. We're recovering surprisingly weak from COVID, and you'll be here in no time. So effectively, he's bringing him in. But he's also being a bit of aggravator. Just don't challenge me as your predecessor, and it should stay that way. This makes us even. Not a good look from George, but still, that's that message there. Right. Question 10. So question 10 is about the 3 tools and when they're downloaded. So this one's pretty quick and simple. You just run the ingest on the PCAP files, and we can see in day 1 capture, we literally just search for the metasploit, and it comes up, and we get the last modified from the download, because it hasn't been installed yet. Well, it technically is installed just after this down below. but you've got 11:04, 14 seconds there. So that's the Metasploit. Then we go across to the iodine, and this is where it gets juicy because we've got the timestamp just here on September the 20th, and the user who's using it, Pitts Adams, which is Alison. So there you go. Highly likely Alison's the one doing it, although, granted, she is leaving the company. So that would be a great excuse to frame someone who's leaving, because it would make a far more easier to pin it on someone. Also, she's sort of a disgruntled employee. So if it was Marcus or George, they may want to try and frame her. But it's far more likely that it's just Alison, I believe, in my opinion. So this is iodine, which was 11:21, and then we can jump across to the hashcat, and we've got the exact same thing, which was 11:13 on September the 20th, which is when the hashcat was downloaded and started up as well. So that is question 10. Right, so question 13. George's emails on the second day. This is where the one I've found that is repeated through this search here. An autopsy is George Gatsby messaging Marcus. Getting messaged from Marcus Miller. He receives an email, and it's Marcus organising a lunch. Hey George, lunch at 10. I'll shout this time, Marcus. And as I perused through, I didn't actually find anything else. So that's all I've got for the second day.